This is Dave with NAPCO Tech Support. In this video, I will explain the process for migrating personnel from Air Access to MVP Access. Feel free to pause the video at any time if it makes it easier to follow along. To prepare for your Air Access to MVP Access migration, you will first want to go to the NAPCO Tech Library at tech.napcosecurity.com and download our Air Access to MVP Access Migration Quick Start Sheet. This sheet will explain to you the compatible gateways, tech support and dealer responsibilities, and the prerequisites before migration. The Quick Start Sheet also includes step-by-step instructions for the migration. The Migration Quick Start Sheet can be found by going to any of the three categories beneath the Technical Library option, and then going to Document Type and Quick Start Guides. Once you find the Air Access to MVP Migration Quick Start in the list, click Download. You will need a login to download this document. If you don't have a login, or if you have never used the NAPCO Tech Library before, click on the link in the upper right corner of this video to watch a video on how to use the NAPCO Tech Library. After following the steps in the Quick Start Guide, you will eventually get to the point where you need to migrate your data for all of your personnel from Air Access to MVP. However, before I can explain how to migrate your personnel, I would like to make clear that the following process only works for your personnel, not access groups, holiday calendars, badge formats, or anything else. This process only works for personnel records. First, you will need to export your personnel information to a CSV file, and you can do that by going to your account in Air Access and then hover over System and click on Reports. Choose the Report option for personnel. Under the column on the left, you will find all the options to export. In most cases, all you will need to choose is the badge and name options. You would be tempted to export the holiday calendar and facility, but unless that information lines up exactly the same way as the calendars and facilities you created in MVP, then this information will just create more problems than necessary. Once you have selected all the options you want, click on Preview Report and you will see the information displayed on the screen. Next, click on the Export Report button next to the printer icon and then set the file format to Character Separated Values CSV and make sure the All Pages option is checked, and then click Export. You will then get a window asking you where to save the file. I will leave mine at the default and send it to my Downloads folder. You can also change the name of the file at this time and then click Save. Before you can import your personnel information into MVP Access, you first must change its layout. When Air Access exports a report, the information isn't in the order that it needs to be in to import correctly. You can see here, when I open the exported CSV file in Excel, I also have the additional information for the names of the columns in the report, and that information isn't needed. And the information that I do need, like the badge and PIN numbers and the names, are way over here in these columns. Also, the first and last names are together in the same column, and that won't work. So our next step is to clean this up. First, you want to clear out the information you don't need. For example, under column A, we have Card Access Personnel Report. We don't need that. So we just click on the A at the top of the column, and that will select the whole column. You can tell the whole column is selected when the whole column turns a different color than everything else. Once it's selected, press the Delete key. Now, just repeat the process for all the other unnecessary columns. The next step is figuring out where the information you want to keep is supposed to go. You can find out that information by logging into your MVP account, then click on your username on the left and choose the option Help. This will open the MVP help file. In the search bar, you can type Import Badges, and the Import Badges help document will come up. And then you will see the CSV template. You can see here that column A is for the facility code, column B is badge or PIN, column C is for the last name, and column D is for the first name. And the columns after that are for access groups, which I will explain later. Now that we know where to put the information, we can place it in the correct locations. First, we will do our badge and PIN numbers. So click on the column with the badge and PIN numbers. Once you verify they are selected, you can right-click at the top of the column, choose the option Cut. You will be able to verify they are selected for cut because you will have the marching ants selection indicator around the data. Now just click on column B and click the Paste button in the upper left. All we have left now is our names. But as I stated before, we need to separate them first. So click on the top of the column with your names and verify they are all selected. Then click on the Data tab up at the top of Excel. And then click on the Text to Columns button. A Convert Text to Columns wizard will open. Make sure the option for delimited is checked and click Next. Then uncheck the option named Tab and check the option for Comma and click Next. When the next screen opens, select Text for the column data format and click Finish. Your names should now be in 2 columns. Now just move your last names to column C and your first names to column D using the same cut and paste method we used for the badge numbers. If you have finished creating everything else on your MVP access, this is when you could assign your facility codes or access groups. For example, you can see here that I have 3 access groups in my list, and they each have an AG number. AG1 would line up with column E, and AG2 would be column F, and AG3 would be column G, and so on. If I wanted to give my personnel access to all access, I would assign them a 1 beneath column E. If I wanted them to have multiple access groups, I can do that as well. Just make sure the access groups don't conflict. For example, if you give someone all access, there is no point in giving them other access groups. As for facility codes, if you don't have any created, then you need to populate the rows in column A with a 0, or else it'll break the import. But if you do have some made, you would add the number that you see next to the facility column for the users you want to have that facility code. In my example here, you can see that I have a 19 under facility 1. So for any users that I want to have this facility code, I would put a 1 under column A. After you have finished your changes, you can save your document and close Excel. Now that your document is prepared, you can import your CSV file into MVP Access by going to Access and then Personnel. Once on the Personnel page, click on the Import Badges button up top. You will be taken to a new screen with a Choose a File button and the list of your partition groups. Here, you can select what partition group you wish to manage these personnel, and then click the Choose a File button and select your CSV file and then click Open. You will be given one last opportunity to modify your tables, and when you are done, click Create. A verification window will pop up asking if you want to continue with this process. Click Yes. After you finish importing the CSV, go to Configuration, then Panels/Locks. Select the lock, click Download, and then select the option Selected Panels/Locks. When the new window opens, check the top box to select all locks and then click OK. Confirmation window will open. Click Yes. This will now send a download to all your locks and panels and update them with any badges that need to be added via the access groups. As always, if you're looking for documentation on any current NAPCO devices, or if you're looking for more videos like this, head on over to our tech library at tech.napcosecurity.com.